I'm Rob Sarney, and you're listening to What the Heck Fintech, where you'll experience and learn that Fintech is Fin Life. Let's get started. Welcome, everybody. We have one of our great Fintech fantastic friends, Debora Jackson. You're going to be blown away. Her background, what she does, how she does it. If you don't know Debora, you will now. And I got so many great questions for her. And where do you see the show? She's going to blow you away on what she does and how she does it. So Debora, I want you to, I'll never do it justice, right? Your career, you've done so many things. You're a pastor, a dean, a trustee, a singer. You've done it all. Technologist. I can't, it's unbelievable, your background and the experiences we've had together. And we'll talk about some of those too. So I want you to do your intro because I wouldn't do it justice.
Well, first, thank you, Rob. I hope I can live up to all of that build-up. My goodness. And it's such an honor and a privilege to be with you today. So thank you for inviting me. Yes, I am Debora Jackson. And if I throw in the honorifics, it's the Reverend Dr. Debora Jackson. I am an academic administrator. I've been a senior leader at the C-suite level, a director, a consultant, and a pastor. I started my career in software engineering and moved into consulting and did consulting for a number of companies, be them, doing rapid application development and supply chain consulting and working with image processing and product data management before I left all of that behind and acknowledged my call to pastoral ministry. I served the local church, I served my denomination, and then went into higher education, going to Yale Divinity School to start a whole new lifelong learning program, and ultimately led me to WPI as a dean. And now I am out and waiting for what's next and excited about it.
Wow. I mean, I'm on my third act doing this podcast. I think I counted, 15 different acts. It's amazing.
Something like that. Yeah.
Wow. So, so I'm going to kick it off with my first question. So let's see here. So, now WPI, I got to live it in a different space, but obviously hand in glove with everything because of you. And so you were the dean of WPI Business School when it became the first triple stack fintech program in the country. So I mean, I never envisioned that at all. I was just going about doing my thing. And I'd love to hear when did you realize we got an opportunity here? Like what was, when and where did that aha moment occur? I'd love to hear the background.
Well, Rob, I really wanted to attribute more of this to you because you were this one man fintech band when I got to WPI and, telling everybody that fintech was fin life and we all believed it and we were all going down that road. And at the time, because you were part of Mass Fintech Hub and we were seeing such great ideas coming out of that in Massachusetts, wanting to literally be a hub for financial technology. And then we were being met by with people who were talking about the unbanked and the underbanked and how fintech could be a solution in that space. So it just seemed so ripe and so easy that it was a matter of what does a program then need to look like? And we were pulling from the ideas from industry, from the academy, from computer science and data science and finance, mathematics. And we said, we can do this. This makes sense for us being a business school that was really stronger or more known, well known in the graduate space. Having a graduate degree program was first, and that was easy. But then once we had the master's in fintech, then the being able to create the bachelor's and the PhD were just natural extensions. And I'll tell you that the work that you started, Rob, when I was leaving WPI at the end of this academic year, we had 42 undergraduate students in the fintech program getting ready for fall,
Wow.
transferring from other programs because they were seeing that power of fintech. They could take their computer science, they could take their data science, they could take their math. I even spoke to one student who was a physics undergraduate who said he was doing his master's in fintech because he got excited about that application. So what you started, so I really should turn the question to you. What you started is what allowed us to kind of blow up, and now WPI is going to ride that wave.
Yeah. I mean, wow. And I thought it was, I'm going to give you, I'll give you my 2 cents. I thought it was genius that, okay, wait, because it's not a finance major currently at WPI, but because it's such a deep STEM school, WPI, the tech would go so hand in glove, which a lot of schools can't do, right? So I thought that was genius from a strategy standpoint to lean on the WPI strengths with the tech. And then, okay, so now you had a joker like me in there. You had to get some real finance, PhD tenured professors, and you hired unbelievable people to take it to the next level because it couldn't have been a major. I'm not an academic. I mean, I play one on TV,
right? I get it.
But I love teaching. I love talking. I love helping. But so that was my thing. But for how that got built and thought through, and and I love that there was checkpoints and add questions to me like, what is the industry looking for? Because it does what WPI has built is what the industry needs and wants, and it wasn't just as pure academic. Not that that's a bad thing, but it wasn't just a pure academic exercise. It was about, okay, what does industry need? What's going to get them excited? And then that helped Mass FinTech Hub also help me help WPI get those
Absolutely.
voices.
I mean, I'll use it in my language. We needed that evangelist to help sell the idea, to prepare the ground and get people excited. And that's absolutely what you did. So that was one key component that was needed, and you filled that role to a T. But then also, I mean, higher education has a negative identity or a thought about the fact that sometimes we will educate to yesterday's needs or yesterday's jobs, right? Because academics do have this way of saying, well, you have to have these foundational skills and then you have to build on it. And so it doesn't move always as quickly as industry wants to move. And in this case, because we didn't have the deep-seated, rooted academic program, we weren't pulled by that baggage, if you will. And we could build a program that was what industry was asking for now. And that's really what made the difference. You ripened the opportunity. We built what industry needed. We brought in the faculty, both those that were in industry, those that were in the academy, to do the right thing as far as the competencies that we were trying to create. And it's a winning product.
Wow. And it is a part that always amazed me too. It was in record time too. I mean, maybe that's because it's the size of WPI, but like you said, academia sometimes moves a little, I'm from industry, so I'm used to things moving very quickly when they wanted to move quickly. But it's moved in record time compared to what I've heard as I talk to more and more universities out there that are contemplating this. So now what would you being the dean of the business school where the fintech major sits, and what would you tell other business school deans if you if you had a trumpet or a megaphone right now, what would you tell them? What would be a couple of things to coach them up if they were
Well,
thinking about doing a fintech major
yeah, I
or
mean,
something different?
we've hit on the need for that kind of evangelist cheerleader to ripen, and the
Yep.
need to connect with industry to ensure that you're doing what industry needs.
Mm.
But the piece that we also haven't talked on, and I think this was more of, where I was adding value to this mix, was holding the space to bring people together. I mean, this is a truly interdisciplinary degree. And, the academy, we can be a little territorial, right? So we were creating something that was truly interdisciplinary, and we needed everyone to buy in. And so creating that space that invited people in, that allowed people to share their ideas and encourage that, so that we had the richness of those ideas, the diversity of our disciplines, so that what we came out with was really exciting, and everyone could say they had ownership in it. And for me as a leader, the best testament to my leadership is when people don't even recognize that I was part of it, because they are so bought in and so excited about what the outcome was, that they're all claiming that they were there, they were part of the team. And so, and I can sit back and say, yep, you were. Great job, everybody.
Now, one thing I thought was also unique, and it really was truly, I think it was haphazard or just by dumb luck, is that and I'll think you take on this thought, and I don't know if everyone will agree with this, is that it seems like, because it's the thing that got the energy going, I think, at WPI was the project center, which is baked in WPI's culture, right? Project-based learning, and I realized that's non-threatening. Sometimes they want to hold on, to the students, a little territorial, but for projects, they're not, because it was all about how it was almost, because at the time, again, this could have been just great timing. I mean, computer science was growing so big at WPI. They were like, thanks, Rob, for offering our students more opportunities to also work with industry, right?
Right.
And they didn't have to go get those connections or get those projects. They just had to tell their students about it, and they had to supply advisors, obviously, for those students. The same thing with data science and AI and financial math and the other majors too. It was like helping. It was like non-threatening and very natural, because it was so interdisciplinary, and working with civil engineering and like other and all these other majors, because fintech is fin life. Everything could be a fintech project, in my opinion. So I thought, and then we went after the majors. It was like they were already baked. Their students, their professors already heard about this from their students, and
Yes.
not from me, right? So I thought that was an interesting, like, it sounded more this is my opinion, it sounded more grassroots, and students were getting very excited. So I was getting reached out to all the time about, hey, what's this project center? What's it like? And then, because WPI has a lot of double majors, so the double majors loved it too, because they could kill two majors in one capstone, but they have to work harder, obviously.
Right.
Credits. So that, I thought that was uniqueness that not all universities probably gonna, because we're all at different. As I talk to my university, they're all at different maturity levels at this fintech thinking. So,
Yeah,
what's your reaction to that? About there was more grassroots, and then we had to go to the faculty and get it approved, but it had momentum already.
It had momentum, and you're right. The project center, what started as the Wall Street Project Center, as you know,
Yep,
became
years
the
ago.
FinTech, years ago, became the FinTech Project Center. But what it proved out, what we have always known and touted, is that business takes advantage of applied technology. We are applying the technology to solve a business problem that's meaningful to someone, that then is going to have societal impact. I mean, it's that whole chain of events that we are the catalyst for seeing come to completion and fruition. And so the project center was a place where, I've learned these things, I've learned these skills and competencies. Now I'm going to employ them for some company. And they were bringing in your fintech, your data science, sometimes it was civil engineering. As you said, it was depending upon the context. But we were showing students that they could pull from what they had learned theoretically and apply it for something good, a great outcome. And that was so powerful. So you got students excited. And when the students were excited, they were telling their professors, and it was mobilizing the professors to say, oh, maybe we do need to codify this and have this real, degree granting program, because the students are excited. So it wasn't me coming down as an administrator saying, oh, we have to have this program. It was a bottom-up process that then when the top down came, it was easy. It was, everybody was already on board. They wanted to do this. And you're right. We were seeing double, triple, quadrupling of students that were coming to the project center. And before you left the WPI, there were more students coming to the project center than we had ever seen.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And the thing that I think also changed the game, I'd like to get your opinion on this, was that we worked with the big financial companies for the capstone projects. We worked with fintech startups, absolutely, right? But we also, worked with Mass General Brigham. We worked with so hospitals. We worked with the Woo Sox, right? So we had projects to show that fintech has been life. It's in every single industry. We worked with the city of Worcester and did things for social good, so it was just, that fintech and working with Boston Blockchain and doing, so just to show the breadth of what fintech can do, that's really, not a vertical, it's a horizontal, like
absolutely. Like oh my gosh, yes, because think about it. I mean, when you used to say finance, you were thinking, well, I'm going to go work in a bank. Or students thought, well, now I got to go do insurance, and those are great industries, but they're not for everybody.
Right.
And so what we were demonstrating with fintech is, as you said, it is a cross-cutting competency that every industry needs this capability. So whether it was a sporting team like the Woo Sox, or the city of Worcester, or a large financial services institution, they were all needing these skills and capabilities, and every student could find a place for themselves in it.
Yep. Please come back to part 2 with Debora Jackson as we go deeper in fintech for social good and what that means to the industry. Thank you for listening to What the Heck Fintech. Make sure you tune into our next episode as we continue to interview fintech leaders and share real-world stories from across the fintech ecosystem, so you can fully understand that fintech is fin life.